Let me ask you a question. Do you like money? Because I like money. Let me ask you another question. Do you like free money? Because I know I love free money. My name is Briasia Winfree, and I attend Cleveland School of Architecture and Design at John Hay High School campus, and I'm a senior, finally. Now, this is important to everyone watching touch on these subjects, but now to all my seniors watching, you need this information now more than ever. And it's better to hear it from peers, kids your age, than hear it from teachers and parents and hear blah, blah, blah through one ear and right out the other. Now, we'll be learning about banking, budgeting, tax payrolls, student loans, college grants, opening up accounts, and so much more from students just like you. So sit back, relax, and let's learn to save and plan for our future together, preferably without falling asleep. But we shouldn't have to worry about that, right? This is free money we're talking about. And I'm not just talking, I also practice budgeting. So I think now we can let the earning begin.
Hi, my name is Rianna Wickmiller, and I am a senior at John Hay Early College, and I'm here today to talk to you about the importance of starting a bank account. So the first thing you need to know about opening up a bank account is whether you're choosing a bank or a credit union. A credit union is a nonprofit financial institution that offers the same services as traditional banks. You get a free checking account with a low initial deposit and lower bank fees, get better interest rates on your savings accounts and loans since credit unions reinvest profits to improve your rates, and you have access to bank services online. A bank is a profit financial institution. You can exchange checks for cash, get a debit card to use at ATMs or range loans, and deposit checks into your account. You can use the bank's website to pay bills, make deposits, and monitor your account, and also speak to someone in person to any banking need. But you earn little interest on your money in your account, pay higher bank fees since banks have to keep the physical building running, and you can't access an actual bank after hours. Do your research, pick whatever suits you best. Now, you have to be 18 years or older to open a bank account. If you are under 18, you can open a custodial account, which is a savings account that is in your name but controlled by a parent, guardian, or an adult you trust. The most popular two types of bank accounts are checkings and savings. A checking account is used for everyday transactions through checks or debit card. A savings account is used to store money for long-term goals. Checking account fees vary by account and institution. Free checking accounts are common, but often include basic services, and earning interest on your money is less common than a savings account. Savings account fees vary, but are often waived if you maintain a minimum balance or make a minimum monthly deposit. There is a limit to the number of withdrawals that can be made each month, and interest can be earned daily, weekly, monthly, or annually. What is interest, might you ask? When you put money into a savings account, you are letting the financial institution borrow your money. The financial institution pays your interest for every day you let it use your money. So you're getting free money. How to avoid fees? Stay above the required minimum balance. That is the amount of money the bank requires you to keep in your account. If you cannot meet the requirement, you might have to choose a different account or choose another bank. Use your bank's ATM to get cash. If you go to an ATM from another bank, you might have to pay fees to your bank and to the other bank. Spend only the money that you have. Some accounts will let you use your debit card even after your checking account is empty. Spending more money than you have is called overdrawing your account. It always means you will pay big fees. Lastly, the identification documents you will need to open up to a bank account. They include state ID, driver's license, birth certificate, social security card, and if you're under 18, a school ID. Seniors, please learn how to bank at home because once you hit college, you could get reckless.
Hello everyone, my name is Reyhan Muhammad. I'm 16 years old. I'm a junior at John Hay Early College High School, and I'm a part of the TRIO program Upward Bound. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about banking, explain to you what banking is, but more specifically, I'm going to talk about how to properly determine your needs and your wants. So without further ado, let's get started. So what is banking? Banking is the industry that handles cash, credit, and other financial transactions while providing you a safe place to store your money. In other words, banking is the business activity of accepting and safeguarding the money of another person or an entity. It's good that these banks are providing you a place to store your money, but yet and still, you still need to know how to manage that money properly. And one of the things that we must know in order to do that is to determine what our needs and our wants are. So, in order to explain this concept, I'm going to use me as an example. Let's say that I already graduated college and I want to be an athletic trainer. my job. Getting a degree in exercise science requires me to take plenty of science classes. Each one of these science classes consists of some form of time-consuming math, which will not easily be done on paper. So that will mean I need a calculator for that class. Now, I also record videos, but I notice that the light I'm using is becoming very dim, and I'm not going to be very scene mode at night when I record videos. So I want to buy me a ring light. Now, keep in mind that I do not get my next amount of money until 4 weeks from now, a month. And also keep in mind that my first college class starts in 1 week, which means if I was to buy one or the other, I will not have one or the other for 3 weeks. Now, also keep in mind that I only have a balance of $80, and both the ring light and the calculator cost $50, which means I can only buy one or the other without going into negatives in my accounts. So, in order to properly determine what your needs and your wants are, you need to go through scenarios. Think about what would happen if you bought one thing and then buy the other. So, for example, let's say that I bought the ring light and not the calculator. Now I bought the ring light, so now I'm not going to have to worry about not being seen in my videos. But now I don't have my calculator. So now I'm not prepared for class. So what could happen from that? Well, it's going to be much harder for me to complete my classwork, my homework. It's going to be harder for me to complete my quizzes and tests because I don't have the calculator. On top of that, it's probably going to affect my college transcripts. Then on top of that, with my college transcripts being affected, it's probably going to affect the amount of jobs that accept me for the field that I want to based on my grades, which in the future, for the rest of my life, can affect my financial freedom. This is the things that you need to take into consideration. All of those negative changes of effects came from me not buying that calculator. So now let's say that I bought the calculator, I didn't buy the ring light. Well, I bought the ring light, so now I don't have a reliable light for me at night. Well, I'm just going to have to cope for now until I get it. That's the thing that I have to go through. Let's say that I bought the calculator and not the ring light. So now I have the calculator and I'm prepared for class. But now I don't have the ring light. But that's not a big deal because I can get that in another 3 weeks. That's not going to affect me in any way by not having a ring light. I'll just have to record during the day with all my videos. So this is the thought process you have to go through. You not only have to determine what a need and a want is based on importance, it's important to replay or play in your head of what outcomes will come from you buying whatever item that is. Because the minute that you make one mistake in buying that item just because you think it's not going to be that big of a deal, it can affect you in so many different ways that you probably won't know. And it can affect you in the future. So let's sum this up. Banking is the business activity of accepting and safeguarding money of another person or entity. Even though these banks provide you a place to store your money, it's so important that you know how to manage that money properly. The concept that all of us need to know is how to properly manage our needs and our wants by going through scenarios of what outcomes would occur from us buying one item and not the other. Whether it's just something as small as buying a pencil and a piece of candy, or if you're buying yourself a school laptop compared to buying that new PS5 that's coming out soon. It is always important that you go through the thought process of going through scenarios. So I encourage you the next time that you buy something or are struggling to buy something, make sure you go through these scenarios. My name is Reyhan Muhammad, and this concludes my presentation.
Budgeting. About me and what to expect. My name is Lebron. I go to St. Edward High School. I'm 15, and I'm interested in getting the area of financial literacy and education. So the reason why I'm here is to teach you guys and gal what your budget is, how to make one, and then how to use it specific to your lifestyle and goals. Budget is a topic that can be stretched out for hours and hours and sound boring, but it is also a topic that a lot of adults struggle with or simply don't know what is at all or how to use one. But for your sake and mine, I'm going to summarize it in about 4 minutes. Managing your money with expenses going out everywhere can seem scary, even frightening at times. But by making and using a budget, it will feel manageable and even simple. So with that being said, we're going to bring our focus on how to make a budget. A budget is a plan that reveals how you can spend your money in the most efficient way possible to suit your own personal needs, goals, savings, and obligations each and every month. A monthly budget can help ensure that you will not run out of money each month. It can be used as a tool to help you save for and reach all of your financial goals as well. How do I make a budget, you ask? Well, the first step is to track and write down all the things you spend money on, aka expenses. Bills are included in expenses, and there are different kind of bills to track, such as bills that stay the same each month, like rent, bills that fluctuate each month, like utilities, and bills that say that you pay a couple of times a year, like car insurance. Other expenses, some you're most familiar with, include things like food, gas, movie subscriptions, clothes, student loans, school supplies, unplanned expenses, and other financial obligations. You should also budget money to help save for goals like tuition for college, budget to help save for a new car or house, budget to help save for new furniture, and other goals. Budgeting is not essentially what you spend money on or how much you spend, but is a plan or tool to help you be in the safest and most comfortable position financially. The second step is to write down how much money you make in a month. This includes paychecks, child support, and any side hustle. The third step is to subtract your expenses for how much money you make. For example, you make $1,200 and your expenses is $980, which leaves you at $220, which you can spend on whatever you want and won't be overspending. Your money left over should never be less than zero. This meaning that it is in the negative. For example, you make $980 and you spend $1,200. Then you will be negative $220, which is less than zero. If it is less than zero, go back and see what you don't need and take it out of your budget completely or use less of said expense. How and when do I use my new budget, you ask? Well, you can use your new budget every month. Keep in mind that your budget may vary monthly. You may need to make changes to your next month's budget based on the previous month's expenses. In summary, you should be making a budget based on what you make and spend money on because everybody's income, lifestyle, and needs vary. You have to be the one to pick up the pen and pencil and start tracking, writing down, and making sacrifices that will put you in the best financial position. You have to be the one to take action and make sacrifices. Now, with that being said, we're going to bring the topic of budgeting to a close.
Hello, my name is Ashley and I go to John Hay Early College, and for the next few minutes, I'm going to teach you about budgeting. First, let's start with the definition. Budgeting is a plan for what to do with your money. So how do you make a budget? First, write your expenses. Expenses are what you spend your money on. For example, bills, food, gas, clothes, etc. Even the unplanned expenses like car repairs or medical bills. Next, write down how much money you make, which includes paychecks and any other money you receive, for example, child support. Then you subtract your expenses from how much money you make. The number should be more than zero, but if it's less than zero, you're spending too much money. So now we have a general idea about how to make a budget, but how do we use it? You can use a budget at the beginning of the month. First, you make a plan on how you would like to spend your money for the next month and write what you think you'll earn and spend over the course of that month. Then aim to write down what you spend daily. When the month is over, see if you spent on what you planned. Use that information to help plan for the next month. Also, if you're still confused on how to organize your budget, Oprah has a spending plan pie chart where it gives percentages of how much should be budgeted for a certain section. For instance, housing is 35%, saving is 10%, and other living expenses is 25%. The link will be down below to the Oprah pie chart. This is a good way to get an idea of how much money goes to what section. Also, everyone's hypothetical pie chart will be different because everyone has different things that they need to budget for.
Hi everyone, my name is Samantha Griggs. I go to James Ford Rose. I'm 15 years old and I'm going to be informing you all about money forms. One of these forms gives or takes away your money. The two money forms I will be teaching you about are your W-2 forms and your W-4 forms. Your W-4 is a IRS form the employer uses to collect tax withholding information for you as the employee. Your W-2 forms are important to know because the end of the year determines how much we should get and get back. It's also your gross pay of the year, which means it's how much they took from the employee for deduction for state and local taxes. These are 3 key facts of how these forms work. First, your employer inputs employees on payroll plus hire data and the pay rate. Secondly, your employer adds data into the payroll system from you being the employee. As for the W-4 is withholding your allowance certificate. Lastly, each pay provides wages, deductions, and pays taxes based on the W-4 withholding data. That concludes my time with you all, and I hope what I've shared with you helps you make smart choices. Have a nice day.
Hi, my name is Edward Banks. I am a sophomore at Cuyahoga High School. I know a lot of us are in quarantine applying for jobs and have been receiving paychecks. But most of us really don't know the financial stats behind us working a job in the real world. We have to know the facts and what everything is used for in the financial world. Some might not be familiar, but it's 2 forms that are called a W-2 form and a W-4 form. When you're hired by a job, the IRS requires you to complete a W-2 form. These forms are very important because they compute how much you get back in your tax return. A W-4 IRS form is filled out by you as an employee to present to your boss. The W-4 form tells your boss the amount of tax that was withheld from your paychecks based on your marital stats, number of allowances, independence, and other factors. As an employee, you fill out the W-4 in 7 lines. Your first few lines include your name, address, and social security number. You also have to complete a form that lets the taxpayers estimate the number of taxes they're withholding. And it's important you tell the truth on the form because if you're caught in a liability, next year you will receive 0 tax return. A W-2 IRS form calculates the amount from the federal, state, and other taxes from your paycheck. And as an employee, it's really important you complete the form because it's preparing your tax return. And the IRS requires you as an employee to send your W-2 no later than January 31st, which closes the tax year on December 31st. Box 1 on W-2 shows your annual wage and salary payments with the amount of federal tax withheld from in Box 2. Box 3 reports an amount that is less than your total wages of the year. I hope you listen to this and take the information in. W-2 forms and W-4 forms are not easy to understand, but it's a very important source in your and everyone else's income in life. And if you want to know more about the W-2 forms and W-4 forms, head over to www.irs.gov.
Hey y'all, my name is Lacey Johnson. Have you ever got a piece of paper with money on it? Today, me and my coworkers are going to talk about financial literacy. I'm particularly going to be talking about check taxes. A check is a piece of paper given by your employer for how many hours you work. In these times, we now have electronic paychecks, which can help you get that money faster. Now, when you look at your check, you're going to see stuff that falls under something called a pay stub. It's a document that goes with your paycheck and shows information, but more importantly, shows your gross and your deductions and taxes. Your gross pay is the total amount you're paid without any tax or deductions. So it will include your hourly pay and your overtime. Getting that money. And your net pay is what you take home, but we're going to talk about that later. Now, let's talk about taxes. Federal tax is the percentage by how much you make and how many dependents is on your W-4. It goes with the federal government. Now, say you don't like how much they are taking out your check. It's possible to change it. But if the amount withheld is more than your tax liability, then you owe the IRS. We don't want that. State tax. Depending on where you live, you may or may not have to pay this. This tax is more likely for things like building houses and things for the city or fixing streets. But if you don't pay this tax, you're lucky. FICA, or Federal Insurance Contribution Act, this contributes to your Social Security and Medicare. It's 6.2% from your gross from your Social Security and 1.5% from your gross for your Medicare. You still with me? Now we're going to talk about deductions. 2 main deductions I want to talk about are insurance and retirement. Medicare, dental, and life insurance all is taken from your check. However, say you got braces and it costs $100 and your dental covers $100. Now you only have to pay $100. That's good, right? Okay, retirement. They have a savings plan like 401k. That gets a percentage for your salary for your retirement account. I like this one because now you getting money that you can use when you're 65 or older. Now you don't have to work for the rest of your life. Okay, we're at the end. Your net pay is what you take home and go shopping with and giving the iPhone with. Now, with all this information, here's the times. Look at your paycheck and see how much taxes altogether you pay every year. Now, make a savings plan so you can go buy that dream house and get that sense of back you always wanted.
Hi, my name is Reauna Walker, and I'll be talking about college planning. College is a big decision, but whatever you do, keep your priorities straight. Keep up your mental health and your end goals in mind. College and choosing which college is best for you is hard. Rather, do you want to live in-state, out-of-state, on campus, or off-campus? Living in-state is less expensive, but out-of-state tuition will cost more. Living on campus will result in a higher tuition because you live on campus, but you'll have less traveling time between classes. Living off of campus will result in gas money, bus fare, and also wasting time trying to find a parking spot. During college, you could pick which one you want to go to: private college, public college, or community. Private college tuition is very expensive. Public college is affordable, but there are resources to help with financial aid. Community college is much smaller and affordable. Community college also has programs and partnerships that will allow you to transfer your credits over to university. Growing up, I heard 3 stereotypes. You have to be really smart, really good at sports, or really talented. The truth is, no matter what you do, college is not for everyone. You don't need to be perfect, but be confident in what you do and make positive choices to impact your future. Scholarships is money awarded to attend college, which does not need to be repaid. In order to keep your scholarship, you must maintain certain requirements. Anyone can earn a scholarship, but not everyone can keep it. With the scholarship, you can still apply for financial aid. Student loans are loans for students. There are 2 types. One loans protect you from amounting interest, and one does not. Taking out loans and making payments early or on time helps you build credit. Even though loans can seem bad, they can help you build credit. Do not take off more than you can chew, because then you'll have debt. Next, I'll be talking about grants. Grants are non-repayable funds that goes towards your education. If there is money left over, they can be received as a remaining amount as a refund. Remember, grants can run out of money. How can you go to college if it costs a fortune without spending a fortune? Well, college has FWS jobs, which is federal work study jobs. You work 20 hours throughout the week, so it does not interfere with your school and studying and all of that. You get paid more than minimum wage, and to save money on books, you buy an older edition or a used book. Remember, do not fail a class, because failing a class is a waste of time and money. Here are some programs that will help you with scholarships and financial aid: RaiseMe.com, Bakers.edu, MySallyMay.com, and MyScholly.com. Thank you for listening.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sydney Bowden. I'm an 11th grader at Garrett Morgan Engineering and Innovation. When I graduate, I aspire to become a cardiologist. Today, we are going to discuss your education at the high school. A lot of students have a hard time figuring out what's the best thing for them at the high school. So today, we will discuss how you all can start planning out for your future. Before attending college, students have the opportunity to sign up for financial aid. Financial aid is money to help students pay for their tuition, room and board, books, etc. There are all different types of financial aid, like Pell Grants, which don't need to be paid back, or federal student loans, which must be paid back. The difference between scholarship loans and grants is vital information to know. Federal loans and private loans is money you all have to pay back. All of these factors are important to know, so you all can be financially stable in college. Something I have down is to take classes at my local community college while attending high school. Look into taking college courses while in high school. This will cut down on college costs, ensuring the amount of time you are in college once you graduate from high school. This is a great strategy to use while in high school. It saves you a lot of money and time. Financial game plan before college. Making a financial game plan is one of the most important things to do before going to college. That's why it's good to start considering what college you all want to go to now. Wait until your senior year to actually figure out what you want to do is not a good way to go. We all need time to prepare and figure out what's our best game plan. Before becoming seniors, it's good to start thinking about if you want to go to college in-state versus out-of-state. All of these things are important factors we all need to know. Also, while thinking about our financial game plan before going to college, we need to think about if we want to get a part-time job. Some people in college also have jobs on campuses to earn money or work study. This presentation was to get all of you thinking about what's your next step going to be after graduating high school. This is all important information that all high schoolers need to be aware of. If you have any questions about the information we discussed today, you can talk to your school counselor or teachers. Thank you.
Hey again. Great video, right? And even better teachers. I know because they learn from the best. And now you have too. You can't tell me you didn't just get some of the most helpful information ever. As I know I have. All that talk about saving and making money has got me in the mood to start now. Speaking of saving now, how will you choose to start? With so many options, it's never too early or too late. But in my opinion, it's always better to get a head start. Now, my financially educated friends, you have information at your disposal. How you use it is up to you. I say, go get your money.